North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas. Those states are experiencing an economic surge as America heads into a new role as the largest producer of natural gas. Areas not directly associated with the industry are also seeing the benefits. Here to help us understand the economic impact across the country, the CEO of Breitling Energy, Chris Faulkner, who's in West Texas today. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. What is the impact of the U.S. exceeding natural gas and oil production, let's say, over Saudi Arabia?
Look, the United States surpassed Russia as the biggest producer of natural gas. That's attracted $110 billion right now of new manufacturing and petrochemical plants being built, 50,000 jobs being created along with those plants. We are on the heels of surpassing Saudi Arabia now as the biggest oil producer in the world. That may happen as early as next year. So I think what it's done now is it's put America on the global energy stage, and I think it's told every other country around the world that the oil boom here is sustainable and it's here to stay. And the United States now could be in the driver's seat of oil production, and it creates an environment of energy security for our country that we've never had before. So it's just a great time to be an American.
Give us a few examples of towns across America being revitalized as a result of the boom.
I'm setting aside one right now. I'm here in West Texas in one of our oil platforms here. We're pumping oil at about 9,800 feet out of the ground of the Wolfcamp play in the Permian Basin. Midland, Odessa, Midland, Texas went through almost a bankruptcy back in the 80s when we had the boom and the bust. And now this town is now the richest zip code in the United States, surpassing Greenwich, Connecticut. And Williston, North Dakota is a great example of a town now. They've got a $2 billion surplus up in North Dakota and less than 2% unemployment in Williston. They paid for everything. They built a $275 million recreational center up there because they've got so much money because of the oil boom. So what we're seeing now is a resurgence of wealth in these towns all across the United States because of this new fracking boom that's taken place.
But then what about non-oil rich cities and states? How are they benefiting from the surge?
Well, look, we're attracting workers from all over the country, from Florida to El Paso, from the Northeast. They're all coming down to the oil patch. And a lot of these guys are coming alone, and they're keeping their families where they live in those towns. They're earning tremendous amounts of wages, almost 6-7 times the average minimum wage we pay in the oil fields. And they're earning a lot of money in a very short amount of time. They're sending that money back to their families. So if the opportunities don't exist where they live locally, they're traveling here. They're setting up shop either temporarily or long-term. They're working. They're making money. And they're helping to sustain their family wherever those families may be.
How long does this surge last, and how do you even know the answer to that question?
Well, look, I think, it's interesting. I think it's going to last a long time. I'll give you an example. We're all sitting on top of potentially 75 billion, with a B, billion barrels of oil right here in the Permian Basin. We can't drill and produce that oil overnight. It's going to take decades and decades to be able to drill that oil. And that's with the technology we have today. 10 years from now, who knows what kind of technology we're going to have. Maybe the 75 billion becomes 150 billion, and we start the whole process all over again. And that's just here in West Texas, North Dakota, 10, 15 billion barrels. 30, 40 years of drilling. So this is going to be a long-term boom. It's not going to be a short-term bust.
I'd really love to ask you about safety, because I know that will be a question our viewers have, but unfortunately we're out of time. Is there a website where you would direct our viewers to where they can learn more about that?
Absolutely. Sure, they can go to our website at Breitling Energy, BREITLING energy.com. They can click on our media and educational videos, learn all types of stuff about how we drill for oil, we frack, a number of different things to educate themselves.
All right, Chris, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mike?